Yeah, and welcome to Vision TV Online. Sorry, how you feeling about today's concert? What are you excited about? Anything you're a bit skeptical about, a bit worried about, or is everything going plain simple right now?
I think mostly I'm excited just about like everything that's going to happen because it's the first time for Datin to come down to London. So I've never seen him live. So to be able to see a Christian rap artist from the US come over and do things live, I'm excited about that to see what he's got in place. And what's the other thing? If anything I'm skeptical about, I guess it's always like the turnout. The turnout is always quite an important factor. You can have everything in place, but if the turnout is not too great, then it's kind of like, all right, how do we function for this? People's mentality sometimes switches off. It's like they think, oh, there's not many people here. It's not a great event. But no, if you actually perceive what's going on stage and you take in the music, it's a great event. So it's just about what the people bring into the event itself. So I guess that's one of four. But overall, I'm excited and I can't wait to see what's going to happen today, man.
So it's all about the energy and what people are going to bring tonight.
Definitely.
Okay, and your Kill the Flesh single. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, definitely. So I got an EP out which is called Murder the Flesh, but similar, Kill the Flesh. Let's go with that. But yeah, so Murder the Flesh is an EP, so it's a very conceptual EP, and I'm basically talking about like the theme between the battle between the flesh and the spirit. So yes, that's kind of like what I'm trying to deliver in that message. So Galatians themed, and what I'm trying to do is obviously bring a modern twist to it. So as a young Christian, how do I battle through maybe temptation, pride, things that of my flesh that wants to be amplified, but obviously because I'm a child of God, I can't allow my flesh to win over my spirit. So how that battle looks like today, and obviously I'm talking about my experience, and I'm also trying to teach at the same time, because what I'm going through is always a teachable lesson for other people. So I'm bringing that out. Hopefully it would encourage others to learn how to battle through the flesh and the spirit. Yeah.
So is there any advice that you'd give if anyone is battling through the challenges of that what Christian life can bring? Is there any advice that you would give them?
Yes, most definitely. I think obviously the greatest teacher, Jesus Christ, and he teaches us about what it looks like, especially in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he has to tell God it's about your will, not mine. So I think that's what it really looks like. It's about submission. Submission is key to this battle between the flesh and the spirit. If you submit to God, then you have the strength to do it. Because we can't fight this with our own strength. We can't do it about our own ability. So it's about submitting to God, and then he will strengthen you so you can overcome. And by submission, sometimes it's not something that you want to do. So that's what I think submission is obedience is not doing what you want to do kind of thing. So I think it's about submitting yourself to God so he can strengthen you. That's one thing I would encourage people to do. And then you'll be empowered to battle the temptation, the immorality, and everything that's in this world. Yeah.
So obviously you've got Datin here tonight, which is exciting. Having a US artist is definitely always exciting, especially for the UK and the gospel industry as well. It's amazing for us to have someone that's so impactful to come to the UK. How did that collaboration come about?
So basically, I think the first event we had was Bizzo. They're from the same record label, God Over Money. So it's a Christian record label in the US. So when we brought Bizzo down and we kind of asked the people, what do you want next? I think it was just kind of an easy transition for them to say, oh, we want to have Datin because they're connected like that. So I guess that's then when we approached Datin and brought him over, is through Bizzo, I would say, yeah.
So what was the interaction like when Bizzle came down as well? How was that?
Very much similar, I think, and the reception was great. People came out to support him, and obviously that allowed him to expose emerging artists from the UK, because sometimes when you have a UK night, people don't really tend to come out to support. As we know, they don't really support sometimes. So having someone like Bizzle come down, it means people are coming to see Bizzle and at the same time be exposed to homegrown talents. So I think that's another important thing to do, where we have emerging artists have a balance with, when we have leading artists, have a balance with emerging artists so they can be exposed to other different talents within the scene.
Yeah, and there tends to be that thing in the UK gospel industry that we don't support our own, we don't help up-and-coming artists. Up-and-coming artists don't know where to get their support from. What would you say to help with that? Obviously, you got the idea of having US artists coming in, and then that's going to bring attraction. But is there any other ideas that you have for to help with that?
I think it's a mentality thing, and we just need to change our minds, the way we think, and obviously it takes leadership. So obviously we look at some people that are in position of leadership, as in people that are influential, like pastors, event promoters, because it's so wide. There's obviously the urban, there's the contemporary Christian, there's the worship. I think we call for unity. So first thing first, we all need to embrace one another, recognize each other's ministries, and then when we start to do that, then we'll be able to support, because we see it, we value that, Christian hip-hop is actually a thing, it's impactful. It's not just a side thing you put on a concert to warm the youth. No, there's impactful messages happening in that. So once we take hold of that and we embrace that, then it's about obviously the influential people to open more doors. So i.e. pastors, have a rapper in your sermon, in your service, in your conference, not just singers. Not to say that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying things like that. Influential people need to really get behind the movement, because then they'll be able to influence their masses to support. So that's kind of the way I would say it will be a good start.
Yeah, so it's all about collaborating together, working together. Obviously, you've invited Visions TV to come down today, just supporting the different ministries, as you've said. Definitely makes a difference. So I think that's great that you're doing that. You've brought this all together. What is the next event you think you're going to put on?
So basically, we have another Zoenites. It's going to be, I think it's a UK-based night. So we have it's more like a variety night. So we have worshippers, we have Afrobeats, so that kind of vibe. So basically, with Zoenites, we've been doing different kinds of events, different kind of nights, just to see the type of crowd, because not every person supports the same gospel music. So sometimes we have hip-hop night, sometimes we have just the worship night. So I guess with that, we're testing to see maybe which one has a stronger market. So when we put on a festival, we know which one will sell a bit more as well. So that's what we have next. And also on the pipeline, I do a tour during the summer. So I'm looking forward to having a festival tour. That's kind of what I'm looking forward with Feed the Music Group, which is separate from Zoe Records, which is where we put Zoenites. Yeah.
Okay, so the genre, and what genre is it that is leading at the moment, would you say, in your opinion?
So I'll say currently it's a very hard one, but I would have to say, because we put on a festival, just so I can run through it, we put on a festival which is 3 nights. One of them is African Caribbean night. Okay, unfortunately, that's not the best one so far. So I guess this will help my process in answering. The other one is Urban Night, and then the other one is US Gospel Night. The US Gospel Night is where we mix some we have a US artist, and then we have UK artists that have that similar sound. So things like Vonnie Morgan and New Ye, that kind of vibe going on. So I'll say between US and urban Christian music at the moment that are leading at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so for the African Caribbean market that you're talking about, what do you think needs to happen then? Does it have to be an artist then for maybe overseas that needs to come over from the Caribbean, for example? What do you think that will spark people's attention in that area?
I think for us personally, we need to do more market research, because at the end of the day, if we know their target audience, then we know how to target them and reach them properly. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of our homework at the moment for that. But at the same time, I think because maybe it's the two genres, as much as we want to put it together, because they're black, so that they're gonna have African Caribbean, yeah, nice, it's cultural and all of that stuff. Maybe it's not so. Possibility, because I've seen Caribbean nights that have quite a good turnout, but I just feel like, maybe we just need to do more market research. Yeah. As
much as the cultures come together and the genres are very different at the same time, so that might be something worth looking at. Yeah. Okay. And where can we find more of your music, more about what you're doing? Where can we find you?
Sure. So basically my website is www.feedthemartist.com. That's my artist website. And then my company website is www.feedthemusicgroup.com. So you can find me on all social media at Feed Them Artists. If you type that on Google, then you'll be able to find all of my links, such as Twitter, Instagram, at Feed Them Artists. Yeah.
And what should we be looking out for in the next 6 months?
So I feel like, because at the moment I put on my EP, I still want to drive off that. So I'm looking to maybe throw on a headline show at some point. Obviously the tour that I have during the summer, and also maybe a few remixes and music videos. That's what I've got planned up in the next 6 months before I go back into studio and get creative for another maybe album or EP. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you've got your hands in many pies. Yes, and do you enjoy that? What do you enjoy the most?
I think I'm really behind the scene person, even though I come on stage and it's all shallow, but I feel like I'm really behind the scene, just trying to elevate and create a platform for gospel music to reach more people. So I enjoy just giving that opportunity to different people that are out there, because there's not many, unfortunately. It may seem like there's a lot of platforms out there, but in terms of opportunities for emerging artists that are starting out, I feel like there's not many going on. So I enjoy just seeing one person grow to another person, and then do their own thing. So I think that's the process that I enjoy the most. Yeah.
That obviously it's very important for us people to come together to show that there is a UK gospel industry and that there is a platform for us, and we will definitely, work together and make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. So yeah, make sure you check out the platforms that are available, because there is quite a lot out there. So it's up to you as an artist to kind of like research what's really going on, because there is a scene there, but it seems that sometimes we lack awareness. So I just encourage you to do your own research and make the contacts. Then yeah, from there, hopefully you are able to understand the scene and then navigate to where your path is leading. Yeah. 100%. It's your boy Feed Them. Shout out to Vision TV. Thank you guys very much for having me. Blessings.